I called this book Innocent Abroad because of a trait in America's encounter with the Middle East that is a kind of naivete, that is one part, this wonderful innocence that we have as Americans, belief that we have a responsibility to help transform this very troubled part of the world. But there's another part of that naivete, which is a kind of ignorance and arrogance, that we know what's best for this part of the world, that we assume it to be like us and to have the same aspirations that we have. That is one part of what trips us up in this effort. And it struck me as I was writing this book that even though George W. Bush pursued a very different approach to Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton's mechanism for transformation was peacemaking, and George W. Bush's was war-making, regime change, democratization. But they both sought to make the Middle East over in America's image. One is a more peaceful place, one is a more democratic place, and they both failed. And I think what's very important as a first lesson is to be more humble, more realistic, to be more modest in our objectives, and listen more than we talk, and be much more aware of the unintended consequences of our good intentions. That said, and by the way, I think Barack Obama understands this instinctively in the way that he relates to the people of the Middle East with respect. But on the other hand, the second lesson is that it is essential not to walk away from the effort to make peace, even as difficult as it may seem at this moment. That Bill Clinton's basic approach was that it was better to try and fail than not to try at all. And George Bush's approach to peacemaking was essentially, Clinton failed, therefore it's better not to try. And I think that was a fundamental mistake, and that it's essential to try, which Barack Obama is doing. Thirdly, it's really important to start early. You know, Osama bin Laden is quoted, I don't know whether he actually said it, but he's quoted as saying, "You Americans have the watches, we Arabs have the time." And it's an interesting point. We're always in a hurry as Americans. We think it's only a matter of figuring out the solution and applying it, and that'll be it. And presidents are particularly in a hurry because they only have 4-year terms, at most 8-year terms. Israeli prime ministers tend to be in a hurry because their terms, although they're 4-year terms, the iron law of coalition gravity in the Middle East means that their coalitions fall apart after the first 2 years or so. When I was in Israel for a total of 4 years, I served with 5 Israeli prime ministers. But on the Arab side, there are no term limits, except the terms of their natural lives. And so, as a general rule, they tend to be the custodians of the status quo. They are not in a hurry. And synchronizing these clocks becomes a very important part of the process.